Newcomb's paradox is a brilliant and perplexing puzzle devised by physicist William Newcomb and popularized by philosopher Robert Nozick. It's one of those thought experiments that doesn't just challenge your mind, it almost feels like it tangles up reality itself, leaving you questioning what you know about free will, prediction, and rationality. So here's how it works. You're playing a game involving two boxes. Box A contains a guaranteed $1,000 and box B, well, that's a little trickier. It contains either 0 or 1 million. Now you face a choice. You can take either both box A and box B, or you can only take box B, which is simple enough, right? Certainly on the surface anyway. But here's where it gets complicated. Before you even make your choice, an incredibly accurate predictor, whether it be a super intelligent being or an advanced AI or whatever, that predictor has already made a prediction about what you'll do. And if the predictor has predicted that you would take both boxes, then box B contains nothing. If the predictor predicted that you would only take box B, then box B contains a million. And this predictor is known to be almost infallible, nearly 100% accurate. So what option do you choose? So the paradox emerges from two conflicting lines of reasoning. On the one hand, there's what we call the one box argument, which is Newcomb's strategy. If you trust that the predictor is nearly perfect, you should take only box B. Why? Because if the predictor foresaw that you'd only take box B, then there's a million waiting for you inside. If you choose both boxes, the predictor likely anticipated that as well, and you'd be left with just 1,000 from box A, as box B would be empty. By taking only box B, you're maximizing your expected outcome based upon the predictor's accuracy. But then there's the other side, the two-box argument, which is rooted in classical decision theory. And this argument says, hold on, the contents of box B are already determined. Whether it has a million or 0, it's already set before you make your decision. If it contains a million, then you'll walk away with 1,001,000 by taking both boxes. If it contains 0, then you'll get at least 1,000 from box A. So by this logic, taking both boxes guarantees you the best possible outcome in either scenario. It's what we call a dominance argument. Regardless of the circumstances, two boxes offer a better return than one. These two different approaches create a paradox because they rely on two seemingly rational principles in decision theory. The dominance principle suggests that you should take both boxes. After all, it guarantees you a higher or equal payout in every case. But the expected utility theory implies that if the predictor is reliable, taking only box B maximizes your chances of the highest possible payout, which is a million. So it's a dilemma that goes beyond simple mathematics. Not that mathematics is ever simple, but it strikes at the heart of our understanding of free will and determinism. If the predictor's success rate is nearly perfect, it seems to suggest a deterministic universe, one where your choice is already known even before you make it. And if that's the case, do you truly have free will, or is your sense of agency just an illusion? On the other hand, if you insist that your choice is free, you might lean towards the two-box strategy, reasoning that your decision cannot be predetermined and that the contents of box B are fixed regardless of what you choose. But then there's more. The paradox raises intriguing questions about causality itself. It almost feels like your present choice affects a past event, the predictor's decision about the contents of box B. This is known as backwards causation, a concept that flies in the face of conventional causality where cause precedes effect. Is it possible that in some sense your choice is now influencing what the predictor has already decided? It feels counterintuitive and clashes with our standard linear view of time. But perhaps instead the predictor's accuracy is not about causality but correlation. Maybe your decision and the predictor's foresight are simply linked by a consistent pattern. The predictor, with its deep understanding of your psychology or the laws of the universe, accurately foresees your decision without being influenced by it. In this case, taking only box B makes sense, not because your choice affects the past, but because the predictor's accuracy gives you reason to trust that box B will indeed contain the million if you choose it alone. Philosophers have wrestled with this paradox, offering different theories and interpretations. So, causal decision theory, for instance, CDT, suggests that you should choose based on the action that directly causes the best outcome. According to this view, since taking both boxes doesn't influence the content of box B, you should take both boxes, collect your guaranteed 1,000. The predictor's decision and your choice, CDT argues, are not causally connected. And then we have what we call evidential decision theory, EDT, which proposes that you should choose based on what your choice reveals about the world. So if you choose box B, it signals that the predictor likely foresaw this and that the million will be there. EDT, therefore, supports the one-box solution, as it aligns with the idea of maximizing expected utility given the evidence provided by your choice. Functional decision theory, FDT, is a more modern approach. FDT advises that you act as if your decision and the predictor's foresight are linked, even if not causally. By following the strategy that leads to the best outcome, whenever a similar situation occurs, you should only choose box B. This strategy maximizes outcomes for all agents facing a comparable decision, even if causality itself isn't straightforward. So the implications of Newcomb's paradox stretch far beyond decision theory. It provokes deep metaphysical questions about time, causality, and the nature of the universe itself. It challenges epistemology. How do we know what the predictor knows? And how should we respond to that knowledge? And it raises profound issues in the philosophy of mind and free will, suggesting that if our choices can be predicted with such precision, then we may not be as free as we believe. So this puzzle is not just an abstract thought experiment. It has real-world applications. In economics and game theory, agents constantly make decisions based upon predictions about others' behaviour. This paradox also applies to AI, where algorithms might predict human actions. If a system accurately predicts your behaviour, should you act as though it has foreseen your decision, or should you ignore its forecast and follow conventional logic? Newcomb's paradox, then, is more than a game. It's a lens through which we can explore the profound and often, quite frankly, unsettling relationship between rationality, prediction, and autonomy. It reveals how complex decision-making can be when confronted with entities that seem to know us better than we know ourselves, and it highlights the tension between our belief in free will and the possibility that our choices are, in some way at least, already written into the fabric of reality. So that was Newcomb's paradox, and it's one of those thought experiments in philosophy that's really fun to think about, and there aren't any sort of easy answers to it. I don't think there's a a right answer per se. It forces you to assess your own logic and reasoning and so on. So it's a wonderful thing to think about and explore and so on. And it gives you a sense of your own decision making when you utilize these thought experiments. It's like having a toolkit that enables you to almost objectively assess your own decision making. So it's they're wonderful things, even if they seem a little silly on the surface. So yeah, that was Newcomb's paradox. I would love to know what you would choose. Would you choose both boxes or just the one box? Would you go with the 2-box solution or the 1-box solution? I'd love to know. So jump in the what they call the comments and let me know. And let's get a discussion going. So before I go, I would like to ask you to do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe to the channel and so on. And a further request would be that you perhaps share the video on your social media or whatever and get some wider discussions going with people. That would be fantastic. So yeah, that's the end for now. So thank you very much for listening. I very much appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to take some of your time and hopefully share something you found interesting. And I very much look forward to seeing your responses later on. So thank you very much.